Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Carl's Kicks. Thank you all for tuning in. I know it's been a minute since I dropped the video, but I've been busy, doing other things, but I'm back today. First off, before we get into the video, now I know I made a video and it was kind of bad, the viewing. I ended up watching it. I left it up. But what I was trying to tell you guys is to go check out my clothing brand, which is called Mainstream. And you can find that on Facebook under Mainstream Clothing, or you can find that on Instagram under Mainstream Clothing. And if you can't find that, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram under Carl's Kicks, the same name as his YouTube channel, Carl's Kicks. Okay, so this is one of the shirt. This is packaged up now. Let me grab you another one just so you can. This is my very first design. I do have a couple more. So that is the shirt there, and then my logo. So maybe see if I can get up. I know the last video I showed you guys wasn't that good of it. So this is the blue one. Okay. All right. And this is another one that I have. Now I'm not gonna. So this one is kind of the box logo. And it says, oops, and it says Mainstream. On the back we got the, and on the front. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Okay. All right. Cool. Now that we got that out the way, go check that out. Mainstream Clothing. All right. So today, coming back with another shoe review. And I'm just going to hop into it. I know this one might be a little weird, but just check out the story. So we got Nike Air Force One. You see they're established 1982. We have, I'll let you read the tag. Air Force One 07. White. Blanca. Okay, size 12, retail $90. Luckily, I did get these for retail. Luckily, it's not too much resale on these. Air Force One paper. Okay, so now I know you guys are like, why the hell is he reviewing the Air Force One? Everybody knows what the Air Force One looks like. Everyone's seen the Air Force One. Everybody's probably had a pair of Air Force Ones, right? No. This is my first ever pair of Air Force Ones, technically. In grade school, my friend's uncle gave him a bunch of shoes, and my friend let me wear a pair of those shoes. Basically, kind of let me have them, They were a pair of all white, mid-top Air Force Ones with a blue Nike sign and maybe a blue bottom. But the shoe was too small for me anyway, but I was just wearing them because I don't think I had another pair of shoes, or I thought they were cool at the time. I used them for track. Yes, I was running track in a pair of mid-top Air Force Ones. Worst idea ever. Okay. But since I've been grown and since, let me not lie. Okay. And then I had another pair of Air Force Ones in high school. They were all black suede with a purple bottom and a purple Nike swoosh. So all black suede, purple Nike swoosh, purple bottom, and they might have had some orange on the tongue. And then I had some all like brown, really dark brown leather ones with a beige midsole and then a pink bottom sole. The inside was pink, and I think the brown had flowers on them and stuff. Whatever those were, I had those. So those are all the Air Force Ones I had. So I had Three pair my whole life. I'm 31 years old, but I've never had an all pair of white ones because I really never bought these shoes because everyone else would buy these shoes, and I just didn't like being like everybody else and whatever. And I never liked all white shoes. So anyway, I copped a pair of low top '07 Air Force Ones. I mean, it's really, I'm not gonna go over this shoe because I mean everybody knows about it, but I do want to give you guys a little backstory about this shoe. So the Air Force One was made in 1982, and it was supposed to pay like homage to, you know, the Air Force One plane, the presidential plane. Um, so this was the first basketball shoe that Nike made that had the air in it. I mean, the Nike Tailwind obviously was the first Nike Air shoe, but the Air Force One was the first basketball shoe. Please disregard that. That's my wife, and she's trying to get the dog to do something. But the Nike Air Force One was the first basketball shoe they made with air in the sole. Okay. And the guy who made this shoe, his name was Bruce um, Kilgore, if I'm saying that right, Bruce Kilgore. And he got the idea from the Nike Approach hiking boot is where he got the idea to make this Air Force One, right? Now you have to look up pictures of that Nike Approach boot, and I actually will have to as well. Right. So they made this bottom part of the shoe, this circle part, so that the basketball players will be able to use their pivot better, or it would put a focus on the pivot, you know, when you do the pivot. So this is why this is actually like this for the pivot, the round kind of motion, and the air is supposed to be, you know, in the heel of the shoe. Yeah, so I think that that's pretty cool. Now, one of the first people to wear / test this shoe was Tinker Hatfield, right? So I think that's pretty cool. This is when Nike had just signed him on as an architect or something like that. But in 1982, when they first were, you know, making this shoe, Tinker Hatfield was one of the first testers of this shoe. Let me see what it says inside. So, I mean, everybody knows what it says in there. Nike Air Force One. So, and when Nike released this shoe, you know, to play basketball, they had a couple NBA players wear this shoe. That was Moses Malone. Who else do we got here? We got Moses Malone. Michael Leeper, Bobby Jones, Calvin Nat, Michael Thompson, and Jamal Wilkes. So they all, you know, debuted in the Air Force One when it, you know, released for basketball. And they stopped making this shoe in 1984. But because for some reason this shoe was in very high demand and people wanted it to come out with different colors, and I guess the silhouette of the shoe, everybody liked it. So, you know, they kind of stopped the shoe in 84 and brought it back in 86. And then, you know, that's when it was like Nike ID. They started doing different colors. They started doing collabs, like the PlayStation Air Force Ones and, you know, stuff like that. And it's just been an iconic shoe. And I guess it's cool to say I've had a pair of the all white ones. You know, this is kind of where it started. Well, actually, when it came out with the Air Force One, it was the high tops. They came out with the lows, you know, after obviously they came out with the high tops. So, yeah. But thank you all for tuning in. Yeah. And we out of here.